welcome back to another episode of Raw Thoughts. I'm Carlos.
I'm Brenda.
And for this week, we will be touching on mental health. I don't want to call it mental illness. I want to say mental health and change.
Change. We have a deep podcast today. Last week, you saw us getting drunk.
Very drastic change here.
Very drastic change. That was the fun episode. Now it's like, all right, let's cut to the chase.
I will say that was the funnest episode we've ever filmed.
Oh, we were having a freaking blast. You guys have no idea. We ordered food. We watched a movie. We took a nap. Like,
we threw up, smoked a blunt.
Like,
as soon as we finished, I was like, Brenda, want to smoke?
We had a party.
Imagine it was just us two in my fucking room.
Yes, but we were like, you would have thought we were at a club. Like, we were going crazy.
God, I loved it.
So
but this week will be a little bit more serious talk.
Yes. So let's get into this episode.
So, like I mentioned before, for this episode is going to be about change. And I feel like one thing for me that I kind of wanted to touch on, because I actually recently just, had to deal with this, is work change. And that's either if you are getting a new manager, whether you get promoted to a new position. I feel like what people don't understand is the mental struggle you are going to get when you get promoted to like a higher up position. So for example, for me, I have worked in 3 retail stores. I have gotten promoted to all of them. And it is a huge change when you go from a part-time associate to like a full-time manager, because now you're leading the entire group you used to fuck around with. And it's like, damn, I don't know how to say this, but I'm saying anyways. I used to me and my associates, we used to just go to the bathroom, smoke together, like bring our vapes.
On the clock.
Period. And not on my recent job, not on my current job.
He gets fired.
Yeah. But on my other jobs, I would definitely do that with like the associates, and we would just hide there for like 20 minutes just talking shit. And like once I got promoted, that was like done with. Like I had to be on top of them because I already knew
what they were doing before.
What they were doing. And I'm just like, I understand we used to do this. I understand we used to do this shit with you guys, but it's like, I can't have this no more. It's like, I need you on the floor. You know what I mean? And I feel like it's very hard transitioning to a new position. I'm not going to lie. Every single job I've had where I became the lead, like the newest leader, hardest thing I have ever had. One of the hardest things I've ever had to get used to, because it's like you went from fucking around with everyone to now leading them and telling them what they can and cannot do. And like they think you're switching up on them, which is like not even, in a way you are, but it's not in a personal aspect. It's more in like a business leadership role aspect. Like I have to like be that annoying person.
Is it like the responsibility that gets to you, or is it like the fact that the discipline you have to apply now?
The discipline that I have to apply now, because it's like I'm now disciplining them for the things that I used to do with them. So now they're kind of looking at it as like, well, you used to do it. And I'm like, that was when before I was a manager. I'm like, so now it's like, you can't do it. And like, they just feel like you think you're like all that now for getting promoted. But I'm like, that's not the case here. It's just that I have someone barking in my ear for shit that you're doing. So now I have to bark in your ear for you to stop.
And it puts your position at like an awkward pace too, because it's like, okay, you're not like eligible to really lead this crew if you can't really handle them.
The position and the relationships. Because it's like at that point they're looking at it as like he's not like one of us anymore. And it's kind of like,
now he's becoming like strict.
Technically, in a way, I'm not becoming one of you guys anymore, just because I have to steer away from the childish bullshit we used to do when we were all like part-time together. But once you're a manager, dude, it's so like, in the beginning, it's really hard. It's really hard for everyone to get used to you. And I feel like no one really talks about that. It's so like, it's such a change. And every single time I've gotten promoted, the first 1 or 2 months, I would always hate it. After the 2-month period, everyone kind of gets used to the new roles and everything. But in the beginning, it's definitely not as easy.
Do you prefer being an associate or a manager though?
Oh, I love being a manager.
So okay.
I just love leading. I just love like just because I know I have the leadership skills, and I
Mhm.
just know like my limits. I
Okay.
know when to stop, and I know when it's like, dude, come on, let's go, let's
Mhm.
go. But and like I always would get feedback. So basically, at my new job, I came in as a leadership role, but it was a contract position.
Mhm.
So after my contract ended, they were like, "Hey, you have the option to like leave, or you could stay here, but you would be an associate."
Mhm.
At that point, I needed money, so I was just like, "I'll just say as an associate."
Of
Either way,
course.
the
Yeah.
the pay was still pretty high as an associate, in my opinion.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I was just like, "Oh fuck it, like whatever." And I picked up a million shifts. So in a way, I was still full time, but I was part time technically. And when I first came in, it was definitely so hard, just because everybody absolutely fucking hated me. It was me and two other girls who came in as new leaders, and everyone hated us.
Because you came in as leaders, or because you were like the new people.
Both.
Okay.
Because I noticed they would talk to the other new associates, but they wouldn't talk to us leaders.
Really.
Yeah, no. It was very hard. They were a tough group of associates, I'm not gonna lie.
There's a really big thing like when new people come into work, like I feel like everybody starts off like, who is this?
Yeah.
Like nobody talks to you, nobody's like really friendly, or not that they're not friendly, but it's not as open as they are with the people they've been working with for a while. So you have to always break the ice with people so they could see like, no, I'm one of you. I like
Yeah,
you.
for sure. But it was definitely one of the hardest. I used to go to work with so much anxiety because I'm like, oh my god, like I'm about to be here for like 8 hours,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm about to be spoken to once, and I'm about to be treated like I'm a fucking rat. Like
Mm-hmm.
it's like it was really hard. After a while, they got used to me, and like it was
Yeah, of
cool and
course.
everything.
They got to know like your personality and
Yeah,
stuff.
but in the beginning, it was super duper hard. Um, and yeah, I don't know. I kind of there was a time where I wanted to quit because I was like, dude, I can't do this. Like they're like,
It felt too like lonely.
yeah, because it's like, for example, like on my previous job before that, I would go into work, but I was already cool with everybody.
All right.
So it's like you like it was very welcoming.
Mm-hmm.
Here, there was no type of yeah, what's the word? Is it inclusivity? Is that a
Mm-hmm.
word? Okay. There was no type of inclusivity. Like everybody already had their own groups, and everybody kind of like you were like the odd one out basically. And I didn't. If I was an associate, I don't think I would have give the fuck. It was
Okay.
more of like I don't give a fuck. Like don't talk to me. But since I was a leader and I had to lead, I had to force myself to speak to everybody. And like in my head, I was just like, I fucking hate this. I don't talk to any of you.
Were they younger than you or older?
Oh my god, they're all younger. Well, not
Okay.
all of them, but a lot of them were younger than me.
I feel like that's in a way a little better because it's like harder for, let's say, somebody older than you to listen to somebody younger, because
Mhm.
sometimes in their head it's like, you're younger than me, why would I listen to you, even though your position might be higher. So sometimes I feel like it's easier to break that ice with people younger than you because like they already have that respect coming in.
Right.
So I
I
think
well,
that's like way easier.
well, I still had a bunch of older associates
Really?
who gave me shit, but I was just like, at the end of the day, it's all about titles.
Mm-hmm.
It's not about age. I don't give a fuck how tenured you were. I was like, in a respectful way, my position is above you,
Mm-hmm.
so you're gonna listen to what the hell I gotta say. Because if you don't like it, like you can leave. Because I'm gonna be managing this shit. I'm gonna be running the store.
Do you get cocky with it though?
If I'm being disrespected, if I feel like I'm being disrespected, yes.
But like in a normal like day to day, like a normal shift.
No.
Okay.
No.
That's
I don't care about my position.
Okay.
It's just like because in my head, I always look at it as like we're just a number to this company.
Yeah.
Like you're just a
I
new hire.
agree.
You're just another employee. Once you die, they're gonna replace you with someone else. I feel like everyone needs to accept that too. You are replaceable.
Oh yeah, everybody's replaceable. No matter
Everyone's
what job,
replaceable.
what position you have, no, like you have a number of chances. Some jobs you only have one chance. That one chance blows off. That's it. So it's like people have the same skills that you have. So it's like don't act like you're irreplaceable, like you're unstoppable, because anybody could take your position in 5 seconds.
For sure.
And I feel like that gives more anxiety too, because you're like, okay, I need to be good at my job, because if I'm not, I'm fucked. I'm out of a job. I won't be getting paid. How am I gonna make ends meet at the end of the month? Especially in like corporate and stuff, when you like have a salary, you have that contract, you think you're in there for a long time. Oh my god, I feel like I'd have 10 times more anxiety that way, because it's like,
Yeah.
holy shit, now I need to apply for another corporate job, which is 10 times harder to get like hired from. Especially now, I've been seeing so many videos of people in the city, like none of them getting jobs, either straight out of college or got fired from the previous job trying to find a new one. Hiring processes now 10 times harder. So I feel like my anxiety would be through the freaking roof because there's bills to pay at the end of the month. So it's like you need to figure out how to make those ends meet.
Exactly. No, yeah, but it was definitely tough. Now I'm cool, everybody. I love everybody.
That's good.
But it was so fucking tough. I used to just dread getting ready. I used to dread going to work. I used to be like, oh my fucking god, I don't want to go. And it's like, since I was like a higher up, it's like I had to put on like my big boy pants and talk to everybody. And some of them would just be like so like standoffish. Like I remember this one girl. It's so funny because I'm best friends with this bitch now. But I went up to her. I was just like, "Oh, hi, I'm Carlos. I'm one of the newest gels." And she was just like, "Hi," and I was like, "Just swallow this and just keep moving because I know I want to curse this bitch out, but can't do that." But yeah, I had to do that with everybody. I had to fucking say hi to everybody. You know me. I don't fucking like talking to people. So I was just like, "Oh, I hate this so much." But now it's like, it's whatever. It's cool now.
How long did you say it like took for that to go away?
Oh my God, like 2 months. But mind you, I was there every single day.
That's crazy.
So it's like, yeah, I was basically there every single day. So it's like, it was not easy at all.
At least it took a turn though, because it would have been worse if like, how long have you been there now?
6-7 months.
So like, imagine like it's still happening today, like people still not respecting that position
And it happens. And like a couple other jobs.
Oh, hell yeah.
Not mine, but like.
No, yeah.
Yeah. And
people
then,
always get like treatment like that, or depending on. I guess that also depends on like the manager, because sometimes like they could be standoffish. So it's like I don't know how to respond to that. But everybody's different. I feel like if you go in with the mindset of I'm trying to help you and we're leading a store right now, we could do this together. It's a teamwork at the end of the day. Like the store's not going to go running if all of us don't work. So, yeah, I'm glad that they like that ice broke and now it's like an enjoyable place.
But what I also like the most about is that a lot of the males in that store, they were pretty cool with it. They were pretty cool with me, and they would always give me feedback on like how I was doing on the floor. So it's like stuff that I could have been working on, stuff that they loved about me. And a lot of them, since I didn't have any relationships with any of them, what I liked was that they would always give me feedback, but I never took it as like a biased feedback. Because since there was no relationship, it's like I feel like, for example, at my previous jobs, they're supposed to tell me I'm doing a great job, but that's because we were already hella cool before the promotion. So that I don't know any of these people. It's more of like yo, you do man good on the floor. Like you're really good at leading. And I'm like, oh, thank you. Because it's like there's no
bias.
There's no bias opinion on there. So yeah, that's one thing I feel like no one ever talks about. I feel like everyone only talks about like the associate that got promoted and like always like now they think they're hot shit. But it's like I feel like no one's ever hearing that associate who got promoted as part and like the shit that they have to go through. We all have a higher up who is it was in our ear. It's like a domino effect.
Yeah.
It's like the CEO is yelling at this person, at that person, at that person, at that person until it lands on you to yell at somebody else. And that person's mad at you, but you're mad at this person, and it goes back up. So yeah, it was definitely so. I had a lot of anxiety in the beginning.
What did you do to like calm that down?
Nothing. Just stuck it up and keep going. I have bills to pay. And like there's really nothing you could do in these situations.
That's
it's
true.
more of literally just like suck it up and go.
Because like what are you gonna do? Just not work?
Exactly. And it was just tough times. Not tough times, but like very like
an obstacle, basically.
Obstacle. Oh my God, yeah.
What about other situations, like when it comes to anxiety? Do you have ways to cope with it?
When I cope with my anxiety, I really don't. When I have anxiety, I honestly just deal with it.
Really?
Yeah.
But deal with it how? Like you keep it in, or like
I keep it in, I just keep pushing. Keep living life like I'm not anxious inside. And it's just like I hate that. Like I feel like I want to like I know there's pills for it. Like I know people like cope with it differently, whether it's like meditating or like yoga and shit, but like I literally just have to keep pushing and moving because that's like growing up, like that's all I've really known what to do. Like I've had anxiety since like I was in like elementary school, and like I never knew what to do. Still now I'm 22, I don't know what to do. I honestly just keep it pushing.
And it's not like we're taught like how to cope with it. I feel like everybody finds their own ways because like it's not like you could I'm sure there's a YouTube video out there, but what works for one person isn't going to work for the next.
No.
So it's like there's not a class to handle this. We might learn about the subject, but not about how to cope with it. So everybody's thing is different, which I also find interesting because it's like some people like to vent about it. Some people deal with it on their own. Some people go somewhere, like a rage room I've seen people do. So yeah, I mean, do you ever talk about like anxiety stuff or?
Not really. I in sophomore year of high school, I went to a therapist because my anxiety was like through the roof.
Mm-hmm.
And then that's when I did like what's it called, like a psych eval.
Mm-hmm.
Was it that? And then that's when they told me, like, she told me like I had like depression, I deal with like anxiety, and then she gave me like pills for it.
Mm-hmm.
But I just remember when we went to the pharmacy to go pick it up, my mom was like, "You're not gonna find happiness through a pill."
That's true.
And
I
then-
believe that. At least.
And then she was against it, but I was for it. And then when we pulled up to the parking lot, that's when she told me that, and then it just stuck with me. So then when we got the pills, I just never took it because it's like, yeah, like when you're sad, you're not gonna be like, oh, let me go take this pill to go get happy. Like
Yeah.
you have to find your happiness. And then what's so cute is that I saw this TikTok that was like, you always find a way to fall out of happiness, but never a way to fall into happiness.
Yes.
And I was like, oh my, like that. I loved that so much because I was like there are times where like you'll think of like so much like sad shit
Mm-hmm.
that makes you upset, but you never think of like the good times that make you like so happy. So whenever I catch myself like my anxiety like just like acting up again, I just think of like I think of like when we went to Miami. I think of like when we went to LA and like all the bullshit we did. So that's always like that kind of like helps me because I just start laughing. And I always tell people this, and I absolutely love this. I feel like the cure to sadness or like depression is humor.
Mm-hmm.
I just love laughing. Like I like making people laugh too. And like, yeah, like whenever I feel like my anxiety, I guess I would say watching like go on TikTok because I know I'm gonna have a laugh. Or I'll go
always
on
on
like
TikTok.
always, or like on YouTube. I'll find like an old YouTuber I used to love and like watch like old videos, and like I'll think about like when I first watched this. So, yeah, I would say just basically, laughter is like and humor is like the cure to everything.
Mm-hmm.
Like
That is interesting that we don't dwell on the good things in our lives. We really dwell on like the bad. We could have a million good things happen to us, but once that one bad thing creeps in, it's like your world is ruined. Like
Yeah.
nothing's gonna make this better. Like all the happy memories you completely forget about, and it's like a demon in your brain that keeps like bringing you down, 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 and down. So that is really interesting that we really don't. The first thing we think about is not something like a happy thought, which is like kind of like not sad, but like kind of scary almost, because it's like, why don't we always automatically just think of something happy? But do some people do that who don't have anxiety or depression? Because like me, I have both. So it's like, I don't know if somebody doesn't have it, is your first thought a happy thought, or is your first thought like overthinking or an anxious thought or a bad memory? So I always I would love to have like a conversation with somebody who has neither, because it's like, how does that work? Like, how does it work for you? Do you get anxious even if you don't have like a full on anxiety thing? Or I don't know, like, how do you deal with something? If you do get anxious out of nowhere, since you're not used to coping with it, is it like a shock factor? I would love to have like a talk with somebody who has like neither.
and what also sucks is that a lot of cultures, or families, they just completely just shut it down. They don't even believe in it.
Yeah.
Like it was so hard for me to fucking get therapy. My parents thought it was so stupid,
Mm-hmm.
and I was just like please, like let me just try it out. I will say for me during that time, therapy didn't really do much.
Mm-hmm.
It was just more. I felt relieved. Well, actually, I'm not gonna say therapy didn't do much. I take that comment back. It was just more of I felt like someone was listening to me.
Mm-hmm.
And she would give me feedback, and I loved it because it wasn't like a biased feedback because she knew nothing about me. But damn, that's my train of thought. Sorry. Damn, the fuck was I saying?
Therapy didn't work. Or it was, therapy worked, but it was like you liked that somebody was listening to you.
Yeah,
and it was
there
like
we go.
not a biased answer.
I remember now. Yeah. So, but yeah, in the beginning, my parents didn't want it, and it kind of sucks because like, I had to force them to get me into it.
Mm-hmm.
But there's a lot of families where like they're just strictly like, absolutely not. Therapy's stupid.
You
Waste
could
of
deal
money.
with it on your own.
Deal with it on your own. You're an adult, and it's like, bro, what the fuck?
My mom wasn't against therapy. I went to therapy, I think my first time when I was like 12 or 13. And my mom wasn't against it. My therapist ended up leaving. But
she was so over you.
She said, I'm not dealing with this little ass girl.
She was like, this bitch just, what hasn't she been through?
She's like, damn, you're 12. But yeah, like, I wouldn't say it didn't work, because I mean, I did keep going to sessions. But after I did find out that she left, I was like, do I really want to do this all over again with a new therapist?
I didn't mean to smoke on camera. For those who were listening, I just took a hit of my vape.
Fuck what I had to say about therapy. He's over here smoking. He's like, yeah.
Refreshing. I recharged.
But yeah, like,
back to Brenda.
I really just, you really have to start over. If you switch therapists, you have to start over. Because it's like they need to know the background of where everything started. So I'm like, bro, I already explained this whole thing to this other girl. I already cried to her. Now I gotta cry to you. Like it's and it's hard to open up. Like I went to therapy and it took me sessions to open up to my therapist. Like I didn't even trust my therapist. I don't know. Like it took me sessions. She had to literally break me to like full on, like let me express how I'm feeling. And like I'm like that today. Like I kind of just deal with it on my own, or I go into like hiding. Like I just won't answer anybody. I'll like take a day off or something. So it's like
you should see her room.
Sometimes I throw temper tantrums.
I walk in and I'm like, oh, did you not find the outfit you were looking for? Why is there clothes everywhere?
Sometimes I like go in like these temper tantrums, and I'm just like, ah.
There's holes on her in her ball. She broke her TV. She threw a rock at her laptop.
I'm a thrower. I throw things.
And you have good aim too. Remember that one time you threw that water bottle at me?
Did I?
Yeah, here I was eating a tuna sandwich.
Oh.
But then like, so not to switch gears here because we were having such a good conversation. But one time, so Brenda hates like chewing. Like, so I wanted to piss her off. So so we went to Quick Check. I got a tuna sandwich and then we ate it here. And then I was just like, and this bitch fucking threw a water ball at me. And like, I don't know if you hit my face or my hand or something, but like, I just remember it was such a good aim that I was like jealous. But yeah.
I like, you know why though? It's because like, I knew he was doing it to piss me off and it was working.
I love pissing Brenda off. It's the funniest thing.
He is successful at it. I won't lie. But yeah, like, it's hard, like, ending, I guess, like, a relationship with a therapist and then, like, switching to the next. That gives me more anxiety because I'm like, oh, my God, sometimes I think about, like, what my therapist thinks of me because it's like,
yeah,
damn, like, do you think I'm crazy? Like, or I'm thinking, like, oh, they're about to, like, diagnose me with the craziest stuff. Like, how am I going to deal with that? Because when you're diagnosed with something, especially, I got diagnosed with it at a very young age. I think like 12 is like fucking young. So hearing that, I was like, oh, I'm crazy. Like I'm the only person, because we don't talk about that when we're 12. I'm the only person dealing with this. And it's like, that's what it feels like. We didn't have like TikTok when we were little. Like we couldn't just look this stuff up. So it's like, I was like, holy shit, like I'm crazy. I'm a psychopath. Like I cannot do this. And when you hear a final diagnosis, I was like, holy shit, like, how am I going to do this? How am I going to live life normally? I really thought I was like a freaking alien. Like, it was scary. But like, I started looking up videos on YouTube being like, anxiety, depression, does anybody else have this? Like stuff. And I'll find some videos of like people talking about it and I'll be like, okay, I'm not alone. I feel like that's the first thing you need to realize is you're not alone.
You know what's so funny? I did the same thing. But the videos that I would find on YouTube, like back then, obviously, were more of like celebrities talking about their struggles.
Really?
Yeah, but the thing is that I want to say I didn't take it serious at that time, just because I was like, well, they're celebrities. Like, obviously, celebrities are human beings just like us, but like sisters at such a high standard, and they like go through just as much shit as we do. I was like, no, like it's different because they're not normal people like me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's kind of like, no, like it's like a different kind of like. I just didn't want to compare like someone who's such high up there with like I'm not gonna compare my anxiety with like fucking like Rihanna's anxiety.
Yeah.
Like Rihanna's anxiety is performing at the Super Bowl. That's another type of anxiety because that will forever live on to the day she dies.
Yeah.
But like my anxiety is like starting a new job or something. You know what I mean? It's like so it's like two different things.
I feel like
that's
like interesting that you say that because I feel like we really don't think about celebrities like mental health, and it's like, think about it. You're literally getting watched every move you make. You can't even go to a grocery store and like pick something like without a camera in your face, or you see somebody watching you, or like you just know every move you make will be watched. So one wrong move, you're fucked.
The other day I saw a TikTok of Michelle Obama. I don't know if you saw, but Michelle Obama went to Target because she had like released a book. So she went to Target, but she was obviously like disguised with like her bodyguards. And like she was like, "Oh my god, like I'm in Target," and then I was just like, "Oh my god, have you ever even been to Target?"
I did not think of that. I think it was Ellen who like brought like celebrities to like normal places, I guess. And I was like, "Whoa, like you can't."
I never seen that.
It's like a little thing. Like she'll do like public pranks almost. Like there'll be something in like the celebrity's ear, and they'll say something to like a random person. But it's like, I was like, do you guys do this? Like, do you guys go to a grocery store once a week? Or like, do you call somebody to do it? I would miss the real world. Like, I would miss going to Target.
Or that video of Kris Jenner and Kylie when they went to the supermarket.
Oh my god, yeah.
They were like, oh my god, you pushed the cart. Oh my god, I'm putting my card in. I was like, you fucking bitch. Like,
give me the card.
Give me your game card.
Give me your game card.
But yeah, so. But do you know what I love now? Even I know a lot of people shit on social media, but I feel like there's also a good side of social media
it
makes everybody feel included. Because for example, I feel like now on like TikTok, for example, you see everybody relate to shit that you have done that you have felt alone.
I love that, by the way.
Yeah, me too. So it's just like I feel like everyone always shits on social media and blah 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 blah, but it's like there's a positive side to it that makes no one feels lonely. Unless you like people are commenting like, "Go kill yourself" on your comments.
That's another thing. Your comments. Oh my god.
Can I just say?
Yeah.
TikTok comments. 10
unhinged.
I love. Like sometimes the TikTok comments are funnier than the video. Like I'll laugh at the video, but then once I see the comments, I'm laughing twice as hard.
Do you think they're crazier than like Twitter comments?
I feel like they're not that. I feel like on Twitter they're not that crazy now.
Really?
I feel like they're like funny.
Okay.
It's just like they make like a funny joke out of something that's like stupid,
lighthearted.
Yeah.
They're not like coming at the person.
No, TikTok's another world.
TikTok? No, TikTok
like,
would be coming at
if
people.
if I had to compare, like TikTok would be like that 5-year-old little cousin who goes up to you and is like, "Oh my god, you're fat, you gained weight." Like that's TikTok, but like Twitter is more of like adult, like it's like you see what I'm trying to say? It's like
yeah.
They're more like kids coming at you funny, and they're more like adult coming at you funny. So it's like two different kind of things. Like it's funny when like a 5-year-old calls you fat, but when a 20-year-old calls you fat, we're fighting.
Like, do you think you'd get anxiety if you got like a TikTok comment, or even like a comment on this podcast or something that was like negative? How do you think you'd react?
I don't know. I'd probably laugh.
Really? I think I'd laugh too.
I think I'd laugh at it because it's kind of like.
Yeah, I would laugh.
Yeah, I think. Well, it depends what it sounds. Like if they're like, "Oh my god, he gained weight," I'm like, "I know."
I mean, he's a bad bitch.
I'm like, "I'm a bad bitch. Let me see you."
Right. And it's always the no profile bitches.
Or
no
like
no profile picture bitches.
Or like they have like an anime thing.
Yeah.
I'm like, shut up.
Let me see your face.
Let me see your face. Let me see your mom. So I think I've mentioned this before in a podcast. I really want to move to Miami.
Mm-hmm.
I just love summer. I love the heat. I love the beach. I'm scared of the hurricanes. I'm scared of the Florida natives.
Oh my god! Wait, can we mention we live in Jersey?
Yeah.
And all the memes of us being so dramatic when we got that little ass earthquake.
Oh, I loved it.
Cali versus Jersey earthquakes. They're like chilling in Cali. We're over here like, oh my god, our house is about to come down.
Well, it was fucking scary.
No, it was. Are you ready for that?
They
in
have
Miami.
earthquakes in Miami.
I don't know. Do they?
I don't know. I thought they just had tsunamis and alligators.
Oh, are you ready for a tsunami?
I like to swim.
Okay, period.
But I can't wait for the day that I move. But I also think about it in the sense of like, let's say I was gonna be told I'm moving next year. I have like an anxiety attack just because I'm just like I'm leaving everything that I've been used to here to a new environment. But I know in the long run I'm gonna love it. I'm gonna enjoy it.
Yeah.
It's just more like the beginning stages, and I also hate that. Like the beginning stages of anything
yeah.
is always the worst. Sometimes they're good, but it's just so like nerve wracking. Like it's just so scary. You know what I mean?
You want to know what's weird?
What?
So I get major anxiety when it comes to any like type of change, at least a drastic change, like whether it's people leaving or whether it's like a work thing or a situation, whatever it is. I get so much anxiety when it comes to change. Me thinking about moving never has once given me anxiety. I know it'll freak me out when it happens, but like I think what it is. Actually, no, maybe I don't. Maybe I do need a therapist. I don't actually. Yeah, maybe I do. I don't know what it is. It's not that I'm excited to, because it's not like I'm excited to get up and leave, but it's like I feel like I've craved like a new chapter, a new environment of my life that I'm like excited for it. But I know like the first week I'm like living alone, I'm gonna be like, holy shit. Because I feel like, you know what will give me more anxiety or like freak me out the most? I made it. Like maybe not in life, but like I made it to this goal of mine.
You made one step forward.
Yeah. So it's like a holy shit. I feel like my life will flash before my eyes. But I hope it like I take it in a positive way and not think negatively about it. Cause it's like okay, I did this. What am I gonna do to double this? Like I always have the mindset of I need to keep doing more. Cause I'm never like what's the word? Like I'm the hardest person on myself. So it's like I never feel accomplished. I never feel like I'm done with anything. Once I get one thing done and like a goal completed, I'm like, okay, cool. Double it next. I never can like take a breather for a second and be like, you did this. Congratulate yourself. Like accept this. I'm like, nope. I hit this goal. Cool. Next. Now it's time for the next goal. So it's like, I don't know. I feel like that's my way of hiding from anxiety. Because it's like, all right, on to the next thing, on to the next thing. I can't focus on this. If I focus on this, I'm not going to make anything done. I'm not going to get anything done. So, yeah, I don't know. Like, me thinking of moving to a new environment, whether I do or not, maybe I stay in Jersey, who knows? But, I don't know. I'm, like, excited about that. I'm nervous about how I cope with it in the time being. Because I could think about it in a year, and I'm like, oh, hell yeah, I have a year to go. Once that year is done, I'm like, holy shit. And my anxiety gets worse if that year does come and I'm not ready. Because that would be like, what the fuck did I do all this for? So, yeah.
I think my most anxious part about wanting to move to Miami is making friends. Because it's just more like, I literally don't want to feel like I'm alone. And it's like, here I could just call one of my friends who live like around the corner and hang out. I could just call Brenda, who's like not even like 20 minutes away, and it's like in Miami it's going to be beginning stages. I'm going to be so alone. I don't like being alone. I don't like being I don't mind. I have moments where I do like to be like alone, like by myself and like my own thoughts, but overall I do like having company just because I do like sharing laughters, and like I said earlier, I feel like humor is the cure to everything. Yeah. But except for like cancer. But and shit. Like no, like not everything. I'm not trying to make a joke. I'm just that came so bad. But like stop laughing at me. But like what was I saying?
Like you don't like being alone. That's your most worry about going.
Yeah, it's like I like being alone, but not for too long. Yeah. And it's like, how long is it gonna take until I actually have like my new set of friends from Florida? Well, even if they're not from Florida, but like in Florida, what I'm trying to say. So it's just more like that, and more of like if I have like a million questions, I have no one to ask. It's like I'm kind of doing it alone. It's kind of like figure it out. And also I also have the mindset of like, do I want my kids growing up here? Like, do I really want Miami kids? Maybe not. But it's like more of like we'll just see what happens in the long run. But I'm nervous, but I'm super.
Do you think you're ready to like put yourself out there? Because that's like the main way to make friends. I'm assuming is just like.
I mean, I'm gonna have to put myself out there. I have no other choice.
Are you prepared for that though?
Yeah, I think so. I
That's
think
good.
I'm like slowly like teaching myself to not be very close-minded and not so like
Selective.
I guess, so yeah, it's more like just open up because I feel like for example, I've been teaching myself more like with customers at work just because I started to notice like I'll talk more and more with the customers and like the vibes will just be great with that one customer and like I'll try to do that again with like the other customer and the other customer need help. It's like more of like a just being very charismatic with the new people that you're meeting and I've never been like that. Like for example, I've always been very like I have my friends. I don't go fuck with anybody else. But then I never thought about like, okay, well, when you move to Miami, your friends are gonna be there no more. So like, what's gonna happen? Like, what are you gonna do now? And yeah,
I feel like I've grown a love for meeting new people.
really,
Like before, I'd just be like, it's not that I didn't like doing it or I didn't do it. It was more of an overthinking thing. Like oh, did this person take it this way? Like, I hope this person like likes me, I guess. And it's like now, if I see somebody new, hi, nice to meet you. I'm Brenda. Like, I like meeting new people because even starting at my job now, the amount of people that like I've grown a bond with, I'm like, holy shit. Like, imagine we never met because of this job. Like, we were on the same wavelength. And if I didn't put myself out there to speak to them, I realized like, holy shit, I have to do this like everywhere I go. Like, anywhere. Hi, nice to meet you. I'm Brenda. What do you like to do? I like to do the same thing. So it's like, I don't know, finding a common interest with people, I love that because it's like, holy shit, like I do that too. We could do this. We could hang out. I don't know. I like learning about people. I love learning about people, actually.
I like hearing other people's perspectives.
Oh, I love that.
That's what I love the most out of everything. It's like I've mostly like expanding my mind because like I'll have one mindset. But if I'm hearing like 30 other people's like other mindsets, it makes my mindset start to switch up. I'm just like, oh, like it makes you think of life differently. And I also was telling myself this other day, I feel like people don't really value the beauty of life.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
I feel like it's so like, but I feel like when people like, I understand people have like shitty situations and everything. It's just more of like finding that the answer, I guess you could say, like finding like the help you need and just make the most out of it. It's just more like, I don't know, I just find life to be very precious.
I have to always remind myself this is the only life we get.
Yeah.
So it's like, take the whatever you want to do it now. Especially like if you're young, even if you're older, do whatever you want. This is the one lifetime you have. Why not do everything that you've always wanted to do? Because what's gonna happen? Like, what's the worst that could happen? It doesn't work out. Cool. You move on to the next. So it's I always have to. Even when it came to starting this podcast, I had huge anxiety in the beginning because I was like, oh my god, what if nobody watches it? What if people hate it? What if we're young? We're in our 20s. This is the time to do it. So it's like, no matter what happens, good or bad, we put ourselves out there. What's the worst that could happen? We get made fun of. Like, who's gonna bully you like now? So it's like, I don't know. I feel like both of us took like a huge leap with our anxiety, at least doing and starting the podcast, which I'm proud of us for, because it's like, if we didn't start this now, I don't think we would have ever started it because it was just an idea. But I don't know. You need to take those leaps, especially if you have like anxiety or depression or whatever. You need to take those leaps because it feels like the hardest thing. It feels like you can't do it. Once you do it, you feel like you're thriving.
For sure. We were very anxious about starting the podcast. We had so much going through our mind, but like obviously what's the saying? Rome wasn't built in a day. Is that the saying?
I know what saying you're talking about, but I don't remember word for word what it is. I know what you're trying to say.
It's not Rome was built in a day.
I don't know the exact.
Or was it Florida?
I think it was Florida. I think it was Jersey.
But Jersey wasn't built in a day.
Jersey wasn't built in a day.
So clearly you guys could fucking tell with the fucking mad fucking potholes in the fucking streets. But Yeah, no, even like for example, like starting the podcast, I like that you mentioned that it was very rough in the beginning because I was like, but now like every single Sunday, like we're filming a new episode and like I
Yes.
absolutely love it. I have so much fun now. Like I'm just talking shit to a fucking camera, and it's like even like invest your fucking money into like we invested both of our monies into like all like the equipments and everything, and like I feel like slowly we'll start obviously like upgrading. Not saying our equipment's trash. I love our equipment.
I think we got some good ass equipment for first timers.
But like you know what I'm trying to say.
No,
like
yeah.
Like a new setup maybe, like you know what I
Or
mean?
a
But
studio.
Or a studio. But
I just scream that.
I just think like just do it. You fucking live once. Who gives a fuck? I just love that. Like I love like saying like you literally live one time.
And if it's somebody in your life like giving you that negative stuff, you need to say bye.
Fuck that bitch. Like even if it's like a close ass friend, trust me, you don't want that.
Just if it's them taking something away that's making you happy and you know it's making you happy, fuck that. Like, no, you don't need that. As hard as it might be to cut that out, you need to, because I feel like if we would have heard you guys can't do this, you guys can't do this, we would have second guessed it for a second and been like, wait, maybe we're not built for this. But I'm glad me and Carlos chose the route of not telling anybody. About our podcast. We were just like, let's start it out first, like, because I feel like we both didn't want to either hear it or I don't know, like
look, like be laughed at, I guess. Yeah.
And give like false promises just in case we did decide maybe now is not the time. And now I feel like I'm proud of what we're doing, which I'm happy that we took the leap. Was it scary at first? Yes. But that goes to show no matter what you're scared of, if you don't try it, you never know if it's going to make you happy or not.
You really don't. Just do it. You literally live once. I don't know. I just love that. Just do whatever the fuck you want to do, dude.
So yeah, if you do ever deal with anything though, I do recommend at least, whether you're into therapy or not into therapy, you don't need to be, at least talk to a friend, or if your parents are open to that, speak to somebody or figure out what works best for you. But we love you. If you have any anxiety tips that you have, or depression, how to overcome depression, leave it down below.
DM Brenda.
DM me, please. Let me know, please.
But yeah, thank you guys for watching.
We'll see you next week. Bye, besties.
Bye.